Hey, good morning, guys. This video is going up a little bit late because I haven't really uploaded anything today yet. But this video was supposed to be for today, and I kind of like put it off. But enough about that. And this is what I kind of had planned was to talk about a few or a bunch of different decks that you can play that's super budget friendly. Now, obviously, coronavirus is taking away our pockets, right? So I know everybody's like not as healthy in the sense that you don't have that much money to like put towards Yu-Gi-Oh like everybody has been before. So this is some budget options that people can use to still be able to play Yu-Gi-Oh here and there with your friends, or if you're able to go to tournaments, stuff like that. So I'm gonna start off with one of my favorite decks at the moment because yeah, it reminds me of two decks, Cosmos and Altergeist. So, Mutants. Yes, you see it on the screen, Mutants. I like Mutants. I don't know what it is about this deck. My friends know me as a combo player, but this control deck, I still be fitting in some combos here and there. But I just really like the mutant archetype. The art is so nice. Especially for the fusions. The fusions, they look beast mode. Um, the only constructive criticism I have about this deck is that it needs its normal summon, right? Granted, it needs its normal summon, which is mutant MO5 and no, sorry, not M, ST46, or expansion. Expansion is you're usually going to use it at the end phase of your opponent's turn to gain your advantage, to get your resources and stuff like that. But the only obstacle it doesn't really have the recursion like other decks like EA. They can literally get their cards back to their hand, but they do have some form of recursion when their monsters are destroyed, or like the big guys when they're destroyed, you get a respective piece back to your hand, either spell, trap, or monster, depending on which one it is, arsenal, mist, or beast. It is very I'm not going to say inconsistent in what it does, because it is consistent at stopping your opponent turn one. Like that's the consistent part about this deck. Like turn one, if you go first or even if you go second, you can stop your opponent for one turn, right? The hard part about it is finishing them off and getting to the end game, which is it's kind of hard. The Ultimus is a lot of resources goes into that card. So when he comes onto the field, you expect a bomb, but it's more like a not like a boom. You know what I mean? So I wish they could have improved on Ultimus a little bit more. Maybe it couldn't be destroyed by card effects or something like that. Who knows? But anyways, I'm gonna get right into the pros and cons. The big mutant guys that's in your deck is really annoying to draw into. It needs better, not better, but it needs more cards to summon, because it's a control deck in a sense that you need your normal summon, and then only having three ST46s, three MO5s, it makes it hard for the deck to actually be consistent all of the time. So I would like to see this deck in the future maybe get a level one that you're able to normal summon. Hopefully, maybe it can be a quick effect that you can use expansion on, so that this level one isn't. It can be also a threat in that sense. And this deck is definitely going to get support in the future because this is the first wave of it. So this is a nice start, but I want to see a good finish with this deck. So for right now, I think it's a great pickup. Everything is super cheap. The core you can pick up for less than $30. I think so cheap. This is a no brainer for a pickup. Pick up all of these cards for so cheap. It'll be super easy, and I think it'll be a good investment because next thing you know, next format comes around, they get a new card, a new broken card, and then Mutant ST46 and MO5 it literally shoots up to $10 or $20 each. That would be ridiculous, right? Yeah. So I think that this is a very good pickup. So don't sleep on this deck. This deck is very good. So yeah, I'm going to move on to the next budget deck. The next budget deck is Crusaders. I used to play this deck a long time ago when it first came out. After, actually, let me reiterate that. I didn't play it when it came out, because when it came out, it was an OTK deck. It was more like a One Punch Man deck. Then it transformed. It transformed when the Guard Dragons came out, and then it turned into a crazy combo deck. And that's the version of the deck that I like. The crazy combo deck with the dangers and the dragons, and it was amazing. I used to play it in Sky Striker format, where you let them go first. They summon any ray, and then they go into their link monsters. They have an arrow pointing on your field. You use any of the Crusaders, you don't even waste your normal summon. You just like special summon, link away, special summon. Oh, okay, you waste your you waste your will ranker. Okay, special summon, link away, go into another play. It was just so easy, and you just accumulated so much advantage with Sekka's Light and Phantasme. It was so good, so good. I never lost a match against a Sky Striker when I played this deck. So it was awesome. So yeah, for right now, I'm not sure if this deck will particularly do great this format. I know a certain cards got hit, but LP is still there. Skull Dread is still there. The whole core is still there. They did not get hit in the slightest. They even got a tool in the sense of um, Crystron, Needle Fiber. They still got Carrier. You can also still do the Predator Plant Anaconda Verde thing, but that thing's kind of expensive, so it's not for that deck if you're looking for a budget version. But there are alternatives, because Pot of Desires is very good with this deck. I know that. And not only that, Savage got reprinted, Appaloosa got reprinted, so those cards are easily accessible now. And then now that this deck is under the radar, you can also convert it into One Punch and combo at the same time. I've seen that before. It's pretty devastating when it happens. So look out for this deck. I think it's a pretty good pickup. I think you can make the whole deck for less than $70. A good version of it. Obviously, the hand traps and the side deck, you're gonna have to figure that part out. Most of the hand traps now are pretty cheap. Gamma, I think, is the one you should pick up most of all, because Gamma is so good in this deck. Yeah, so Gamma, Ash Blossom would be great. If you can, a Nib here or there. If you have access to the impermanence, obviously. So yeah, guys, look out for this deck. This deck is going to be there. One day this will get more support and it'll get better. So on to the next deck. Plunder Patrols. So Plunder Patrols is one of those other TCG exclusives, just like Mutants. And I believe this deck probably get more support in the future, because it's missing a couple elements. And so it's missing, so it has water for the extra deck. It has light, it has dark, and it has fire. So the next ones I think it should get, obviously, should be Earth, and the other one should be, what is it called? Wind. Sorry, Earth and Wind. There should be an Earth and a Wind one coming up for the ships. Obviously, I'm not sure specifically what it's going to be, obviously, because I'm not Konami, but possibly I think they're probably going to get a ritual, probably a ritual wind or something like that, and then maybe another link monster for the other element. But we have to see how that goes. But for the most part, I think this deck is super good. We've seen it do some really crazy things in the past couple of formats, and now this deck is super cheap again. Look at it. It's $5 for Redbeard, $3 for Whitebeard. This guy used to be $5 as well. He's super cheap now. So this deck is super accessible, and I think it's one of those decks that you should have in your back pocket, because it's a snowball deck. The snowball deck can literally just obliterate your opponent sometimes, and then it's super hard to play against. There's no one side deck card that actually like destroys this deck, if you will. So that's it for Plunder Patrols. This deck should be super cheap, not more. So these guys is a little bit more expensive than these. So you need 3 Whitebeards and 3 Redbeards, and they're like $5 each. So you could probably pick up the set for 30, and then the rest of the deck shouldn't be too crazy to pick up. I think it should be somewhere around 70, $80, if anything. And yeah, that should be all you need for this deck. This deck doesn't really use much of any cores of other decks to play with. It just uses its own core, and it's very consistent at what it does. So, yeah, Plunder Patrols. Watch out for it, baby. All right, so on to the next one. Boom! This is one of my other decks that I used to play a long time ago. Man, this deck was so good back in the day, and now it's not as good because there are certain combo decks now that do crazy things just like it. But this deck, it never got hit, never ever got hit. It just got power crept, and then it got hit by the Lynx. The Lynx was like, nope, no way. They just prohibited this deck from doing good. It was so irritating because this deck had all the potential in the world, but then got demolished by a new mechanic. And it's like, Konami, why did you do this, bro? Why? It makes no sense. So this deck has so much going for it. It has Kepler searches. It has all the contracts. One is a Raigeki break. The other one searches for a monster. It also has both of the slimes. The slime, the green slime, fusion summons from hand by using 2 DDD monsters, including himself. Necro Slime summons from special summons from graveyard. A fusion monster, so it fusions from graveyard. And DD Swirl Slime banishes itself special summon DD monster from your hand. This deck is so good. All the core pieces, and it has a tuner that has no restrictions on it. That's crazy. It has Ragnarok. Ragnarok is broken too. So and it got its own Link monster. Finally. And it has its own main deck negate Siegfried. This deck has so much going for it, guys. I just want you guys to give this deck a chance. It's very hard to play. Don't get me wrong. It is very hard to play, but I am coming out with a deck profile for it with combos and all of that. Just stay tuned for that. It's going to be super consistent because I figured out a way to break this deck. Stay tuned for that video. And yeah, I'm not going to talk too much about this deck. In the upcoming profile, I'll show you more about it. But yeah, on to the next one. Yeah, actually, let me tell you how much this deck will probably cost. For the most part, all this stuff is actually super cheap. Probably the cheapest deck on this list. The only problem is the extra deck. The extra deck has a bunch of different cards that you can get and play with. I can name some few. I have it over here. Give me 1 second. Deck right now, I have obviously the DD monsters don't really matter, like DD Flame King Genghis, Alexander, High Genghis, Titanic Galaxy, Odd Eyes Meteor Burst Dragon, Borreload Savage, Cursed King Siegfried, Crystron Needle Fiber, Cloth Sheep, the DD King Abyss Gilgamesh, Crystal Wing. I'm playing Chaos Ruler, the Chaotic Magical Dragon. Yo, guys, this deck is where it's at, and I'm enjoying playing it, playtesting it right now. So when I make this deck proper and I get everything together, I will show you a deck profile on how to play this deck, and this deck will be sweet for me. Okay, so that is it for the DDDs. On to the next deck. Another one. I played this deck too. I feel like this deck is super. I feel like my list is a little biased because I'm showing you guys all the best decks. But these decks are super accessible because a lot of them have structure decks. You literally buy 3 of the DDD structure decks. And you have most of the deck right there. But for Shadal's, this card, I don't know how this card, Shadal Schism, became so damn expensive. It's $15 now. It used to be $5, $7, and just slowly crept up over time. But this is only a 1-up in this deck, so you don't really need to worry about it too much. Allure of Darkness comes in the structure deck, so you don't really need to worry about that either. 3 structure decks, you literally have the whole deck. You can also combine it with other things like Dogmaticas, like Invoke, but those decks are super expensive. Invocation is very expensive. The whole core of the Eldritch deck as well, you can combine it with them, but the core is kind of expensive now. Literally all the cores of every like combination deck with Shadal's now is very expensive, which is kind of unfortunate. But the only thing people forget about is that Winda and Construct are 2 super uber broken fusion monsters. and nobody really focuses on that. And El Capone now, it puts an extra puzzle into the piece. And not only that, this deck is getting more support. So no matter what, this deck is a solid hold, because no matter what, it's going to continue to get support. It's a fan favorite. Konami knows that. That's why they keep releasing support. They seen it from the voting, and no matter what, everything is off the ban list now. El Shaddai, Construct, all at 3. Nothing what's on this ban list is hit. Mathematician is back at 3 too. So there's no reason why you shouldn't have this deck in your collection. It is one of the best pickups to have. And I believe that this deck can probably be a problem in the future. Do not sleep on Winda, guys. Do not sleep on Winda. Winda wins you games by herself. When you literally have one card winning you games for no reason whatsoever, and it's so easy to summon, I mean, there's not much else you can say about it. You know, not much else you can say about it. The only problem right now is Golden Lord. You can have certain problems take care of your Golden Lords now. So Golden Lords probably get rid of Winda the easiest, but we have ways to get around Golden Lord now. We also have ways to get rid of her, in the sense that we have the water monster. Let me find a water monster for you guys. Oh my god, where's this water monster? Oh, there we go. Nel Shadal Ariel. Ariel banishes 3 cards from your opponent's graveyard. It's a great DD Crow. It's amazing. This card is so good. I figured out other ways to trigger it. You can trigger it from detaching XYZ materials, but only for specific monsters, like Redoer. Redoer is where it's at. I think there's another monster as well that triggers it, but I'm unsure of the name. And yeah, this deck has always been near and dear. I think, yeah, this is the first deck that I topped a regionals with. It was when it first came out, so it wasn't the best version of it, but it's near and dear to my heart, where I will always remember this deck for being there for me when I needed it. So on to the next deck. Oh, before I move on, this deck shouldn't be expensive at all. Everything is super cheap except the Schism. Schism is a little annoying now because it used to be $5 now it's 15. But it should be the only expensive card, because it should probably just it comes inside the structure. Like, there's everything you need comes inside the structure, which is amazing. And if you want to, you can bling it out, because you got the Alti Construct, the Alti L-Shix, but you don't really go into L-Shik anymore. But yeah, I think this deck is a solid pickup. Probably shouldn't spend more than, well, this thing right here says $12 to $15. This, I think you can find them for $10. So probably shop around. You can probably pick up the decks for 10, so 30. So I don't think you should spend more than like $70, $75, maybe $80 on this deck to fully complete it. And I believe it's like a good hold, a good investment, because it can win you tournaments. That's Shadal, that's Winda, that's Construct. They will win you tournaments no matter what you do with the deck. So as long as you play correctly. Just look online for some builds. I've seen somebody have a trap deck, budget version. Not sure how good it is, but yeah, look that up. On to the next one. I'm gonna combine 2 of them, which is Unchained, and then the other one is these Live Twins. So I've been also playing around with the Live Twins. I think it's a very fun deck, and it also incorporates some of the Unchained, which is nice, because Ahura is very good. I think I can't even pronounce this word. And then also Abomination. You can obviously summon this in any deck, but this deck makes very, very good use of it. The trap cards are very, very powerful. The only problem is they play these 2 guys, which is kind of like bricky. Unchained Twin Samaha is kind of like a bricky card too, but that's why you cut down on certain cards like that. And you can also play the pure version. I'm not sure exactly how good it is. It reminds me of a 1-for-1 deck, in the sense that it trades a lot of cards, and it gains advantage from popping its own cards, but I think they need a card in this deck to like actually um gain more advantage in a sense, because a lot of these 1-for-1 trades doesn't necessarily do anything until your deck or your hand starts gaining more advantage. It does gain more advantage the more cards you pop, yes, but it needs a better way or a more advantageous way of gaining that advantage. So I believe this deck is another good solid pickup. This thing is super cheap. Everything got reprinted in Megaton, so this card is $3 now. Wow, $3. This card should be way cheaper than this, because it got reprinted as well. Oh yeah, it's right here, 50 cents. Wow. This guy is also super cheap. Even the search spell. Where's the search spell? Oh, it's not here. The search spell is super cheap as well. I don't think it's underneath the same name as Unchained. It's is it Abomination? No, it's not Abomination. Oh well, but that card is like $3, $2, probably less than that, maybe $1. So this deck is super affordable, and same for the Live Twins, and it's also a new deck, so you can also have fun with that. So the Live Twins, they have the super rare versions where like 50 cents. They're 50 cents. It's so cheap. It's so affordable that it's just a no-brainer to just pick up like 10 cents for the Live Twin super rares, and then the rest of their deck is this secret password, 10 cents, live home, 10 cents. The only money cards in this in the core is the extra deck monsters, which is Live Twin Lila and Live Twin Kiskili. I think that's how you pronounce it. Those cards, $9, $9. That's what's gonna range from 27, 50. Yeah, that's a lot of money. But that's literally the whole deck right there. It's just those two cards, and literally $1 for the rest of the deck. So as long as you do it correctly, this thing is going to be $60, and then the rest of the deck is maybe $3. So it'll be $63, which is super super cheap. The other pieces you could just get here and there. It's just deck core requirements. Like I think one of them even comes in the set, which is kind of insane. Like literally, if you buy the set, you can get a whole bunch of cards that's just perfect for your deck. Like let's say, where is it? Where is it? Boom, 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 boom. It's not here. It's a Cyberus level 3. Oh, here it is. Backup secretary. Backup secretaries for the deck. And it used to be a little annoying to find in bulk. So if you buy the set or you go to your local gaming store, you can pick this up super cheap. It's like 5 cents. And yeah, I think it's a super good pickup as well. So, and it's not too complicated to play either. So it's also a good thing. So moving on, another structure deck. Yeah, I know, right, guys? These structure decks are so affordable. Next one is Salamangreat. I hate this deck. I'm not gonna lie to you. This deck is so whack compared to my playstyle because I like doing fancy, over the top nonsense. This deck is basic, control, consistent. That's what it does. It's there. That's what it does. If you like to play like that, okay, cool. If you have fun with that playstyle, okay, cool. But this deck is good. I'm not gonna front on it. That deck is good at what it does. And Wolf is still there at 3. Salaman's Circle is still there. The other Cyber Search card is also there. Jaguar, Spinny. None of those cards got hit yet. Gazelle is still hit, yeah, but you have so many ways to get to Gazelle. It doesn't even matter at this point. So everybody knows what Salamangreat does at this moment in time. Even the extra deck like Secret Rare that came out in Chaos Impact is so cheap. It's $1. $1. It even got reprinted, so it's like 80 cents. So there's no reason not to have this deck in your collection. I even have it. I don't play it. I don't like it. It's just the play style. But yeah. So these are, I think, 7 very, very budget options. This deck also plays a bunch of hand traps, so you're going to need a few of them. In the structure deck, it comes with 3 Ash, so you don't need to worry about that. And yeah, for the most part, this is some of the better options for budget. So if you're on a budget and you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh and you want to play Yu-Gi-Oh competitively, these 7 decks will get you to where you want to be. Some are more higher ceiling than others, but this is why I gave you a bunch of different options, and I explain what they specifically do in each part of this video. So make sure you pay attention to that. And if before you buy it, I want you guys to play test these decks on Dueling Buck, see if you like them. Remember, read the effects, make sure you're all well and known before you purchase these decks. Because obviously coronavirus, so we want to make sure we're spending our money smart and we buy what we like and we enjoy. So that's it for this video, guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Yu-Gi-Oh content just like this. And the giveaway is Friday, so guys, don't forget. Let me Rise of the Duelist, baby. We're opening it. This whole set has been going crazy now, so what we have to do is open this. Hopefully you guys pull some brokenness. I want a prismatic. If I pull it, it's going to you guys. So yep, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and you will be entered into the giveaway. Don't forget to hashtag giveaway, and yeah, let me know if you like the video. Bye.